Joining us now, Hope Scheppelman is the Vice Chairwoman of the Republican Party in Colorado. Dave Williams is the Chairman of the Republican Party in the state. So welcome to you both, and thanks for coming on. You know, Dave, we spoke before the lawsuit was actually decided, so I just wanted to start with you, your initial reaction to the judge's ruling in the case.
Sure. Ultimately it's a good outcome, but, it took 100 pages of her talking about how Donald Trump falsely engaged in an insurrection. And that's ultimately the next step in the fight, is adjudicating that in the Colorado Supreme Court. The petitioners, the plaintiffs who brought the suit, are now going to appeal to the Colorado Supreme Court, and they're going to argue that the judge got it wrong on the 14th Amendment not applying to Donald Trump. So we're not over yet, but we're glad that we were able to win this first round, even though the judge was mistaken in her assessment about January 6th.
Yeah, to Dave's point, Hope, the Colorado Secretary of State announcing this on X, saying, quote, "The court determined that Donald Trump is eligible to be placed on the Colorado ballot in March for the presidential primary. This decision may be appealed. As Secretary of State, I will always ensure that every voter can make their voice heard in free and fair elections." But is that the case? I mean, you want to let the voters have their voice, but yet you also want to take that voice away at the same time. How do you read that, Hope?
So thank you so much for having us on today. Absolutely, Sean and Emma. You know, Judge Wallace's ruling the last 10 days, we realized that within those last 10 days, 3 different states were trying to get President Trump off of the ballot. And he was able to prevail in that 14th Amendment challenge in his candidacy. The things that we have to also realize, the Democrats are really trying to pull the most cynical and blatant political attempts to interfere with the upcoming presidential election. So we are really fighting as a Republican Party here in Colorado and really trying to make sure that any elected person that wants to get onto the ballot has the ability to be on the ballot.
And I think that maybe from viewers watching all over the country, they might think Colorado, okay, typically a blue-leaning state. You've got a Democratic governor in office. Dave, is there, voters in your state who are looking for Trump or a Republican candidate to be the next leader come 2024?
Yeah, we have internal polling that's showing that even in Colorado, voters are primed for a change. They know that Joe Biden is tanking this economy. They know that he's bad for the country and should be impeached. And I think that's why Donald Trump is the leading Republican contender, because they know that he did the job very well the first time around, and that if he gets back in the White House, we can do a course correction. But even in Colorado, we are primed for a turnaround.
Hope, I wanted to close with this, again, back to the judge. So the judge allowing Trump on the Colorado election ballots. Again, this appeals process, even though a state Supreme Court in Minnesota already rejected this, Michigan already rejected this as well. It was dismissed in both states there. Colorado clearly dismissing this as well, but still an appeals process carrying this out. I mean, what do you think this really is about? It's clearly not working, trying to apply the 14th Amendment in this situation. What is happening in Colorado specifically that they want to continue the appeals process?
Really? So I do appreciate that question. The big thing is they literally just don't want Trump on the ballot. They really want to make sure that Biden is the next president. They will interfere no matter how much they can try to put at us. But let me tell you something. The Republican Party is really strong, and we are fighting this tooth and nail, and we know we are going to be able to win this. So they're desperate times. We are going to make sure that we really challenge this. And we know in Colorado that we need to have fair elections, that we don't want anybody to have their hand in the pot, that the voters need to be able to choose who is going to be the next president.
And to your point, at least the voters will have a say whether they want to vote for Trump, if they want to vote against Trump, at least the name will be on the ballot. Hope Scheppelman, Dave Williams, thanks for coming on today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.